In this video, we're going to take a quick walk through the area around the cannery, look at the gift shop, and then we're going to get a guided tour. We are at Icy Strait Point on a southbound Radiance of the Sea cruise from Seward. And at Icy Strait Point, one of the things to see and tour is this cannery. It serves as a museum and also as a collection of gift shops with a local native craft. It is a very interesting building, very interesting to tour. We were fortunate to have a great guide. She explains everything to us. In that same area, there is a crab house. We'll walk in there a little later, but it is reportedly some of the best crab legs in Alaska, and that's from an experienced Alaska guide.
The building is 112 years old, and it was built like many canneries near the water. But what was unique about Luna was that it actually had the village, the workforce was right here and able to come and work. The gentlemen, the men, fished. Many of the women operated the equipment here in the cannery, whether it was this cannery or whether it was the crab cannery. It was another location in town. And the unique part about that is that many canneries had contract workers that would bring in house, feed, and operate just during the season. Because they had a stable workforce, this cannery was able to move through several different species of fish at a time, and as I said, employ folks year-round. This was built before the time of refrigeration or ice, and so everything had to happen from the moment the fish was unloaded into the sort room, the fish house, to when it was brought into the elevator and dropped into the guillotine, the automated fish processor, and then on into the canning line. This is an example of a canning line. It's still used in contemporary canning, the same methods, the same machinery actually. And we at peak of operation had 4 retorts going, 4 great big pressure canners. If you want to stroll with me over this.
Yeah. I wonder what a retort was.
Right. So let me finish up this little part of the story. The fish would be sorted, and actually there was an elevator, and it would come down through a trap door, and the guillotine would be positioned nearby. This is a cutter, obviously, and you can see that we can adjust the breadth of the cuts based on the species of fish. Some smaller fish you want to cut smaller pieces, the bigger fish you can have. So as the fish has been prepared in the whole, and it comes through the cutter, we're missing one piece right here that is the hopper, and that the chunks of fish would come into this, and then you can see that the cans were being fed from upstairs in the warehouse upstairs, and here is where the cans get filled in the filler. There's an arm that goes back and forth that fills. It comes through one of the washers, and then it goes through what's the weigher. And it's important that they are all uniform, not only because of the labeling, but because of cooking, right? These devices are calibrated so that they're all to be exactly the same weight. Something should happen, and one of the cans is not. There's a secondary line. The can gets kicked off, and it goes here. This is called the patch table. This is where a lot of the women would work. And literally, they would get the can off, take a little bit off, put a little bit in, and get it back on the line. So the line in the front is chugging along, filled with raw salmon. Coming to the crimper, and the crimper puts the lid on, but it doesn't seal it. It gets it ready, but it isn't sealed yet. It comes along again through another washer, and it goes into the vacuum sealer. This is really like the heart of the operation, to vacuum seal the fish into, and then kick them out into a feeder, the cans. And then at that point, the cans are loaded into the large baskets, 90 minutes, an hour and a half, 240 degrees and pressure. So these are large pressure cookers. This is actually one that's cut in half. We have 4. Wow. Time. So you can appreciate how much noise there was, how much commotion there was. I could turn the machine on. Mug up was an important element. I want to point out that these are original boards here in the cannery. As I said, it's 110 years old. But you'll notice there's a gap in between this, and this is one thing I'm particularly fascinated by. The building, we didn't have refrigeration, we didn't have ice, but how did we keep the hot retorts from distorting the fish that were just coming in at the other end of the building? Air conditioning, because all the canneries were built near the water, and the cool air would come in off the water and displace the heat from the retorts, and it would displace it and put it on up. The building is something of a sieve, and we still get 100-year-old dust that still drifts down. The gift stores here, all of them are Alaskan supported, so even the privately owned shops down the corner. But we treat it like a museum store, so everything here is somehow related to our theme, our mission, and interpreting Alaska. And we believe that souvenirs are a good thing, because a souvenir is that what reminds you of a happy event, a happy memory. So I hope that there's a souvenir for everybody and they can go home thinking about their zip line and thinking about the fun they had. During World War I, the Salvation Army had gals that would prepare donuts and coffee for the fellows coming off, taking a break off the front. And it started out the Little General. And so it's Little Jen's Donuts, and the Salvation Army here operates the donut machine. And it's mostly the captain, the two captains, and sometimes an employee. But that too is a fundraiser for them, and this is how Icy Strait Point supports the Salvation Army, which is an important part of the community.
Okay, all right, well, very nice. Thank you very much, Eleanor. I'm going to walk out of the cannery now, past some of the gift shops, and this is the crab house. So we caught it at a time where it wasn't busy. I've been in here where you couldn't get in the door, the line was out the door, but this is much later in the afternoon. Things are kind of winding down. It's not a fancy place, but like I said, the crab legs are reportedly amazing. We had another meal set up on the island, so we didn't get crab legs while we were here. But like I said, it was a very interesting place. You'll see there's some people come in and line up here and there looking at the menu, and she's explaining it to them. But pretty much it's crab legs. And we really enjoyed our day on Icy Strait Point. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you haven't subscribed, if your subscribe button is red, please click on my face in the lower left corner. And the box on the right is going to have a playlist with more videos from Icy Strait Point. Thanks for watching.